Here we are. Welcome, everybody. My name is Tommy Sobel. We have everybody joining us right now. We've got Leon here. Nem, so great to see you. Adding more people from the waiting room. Clearly, there are multiple people here who it says their name is Tommy Sobel. This has never happened before. I don't know what happened with Zoom, but if you, it's so nice to see all your faces. If you're not Tommy Sobel, which none of you are, because that's me, feel free to change your name so that we know who you are. For some reason, it named half of you Tommy Sobel, which is like, I feel like I'm in Being John Malkovich right now. So as we let everybody join, Christian, so great to see you. Lucy, so wonderful meeting you. What's up, Molly? David, wonderful having you here. And then there's two people named Tommy. What's up, Ruben? Great to see you. We'll see who the last Tommy is. We got 9 people here. So excited for this conversation. So glad to have you all here. Cool. This could be the group. I think we have maybe 1 or 2 people joining that I will let in as necessary. Oh, it was Zipporah. What's up, Zipporah? So great to see you or see that you're here. All right, so we're going to get started. This conversation. Oh, we have another Tommy Sobel joining the waiting room. This is so unusual. All right. What's up, Brian? Great to have you. All right, so we're going to begin. My name is Tommy Sobel. If it says your name is Tommy Sobel, feel free to change it to your actual name. Zoom is playing with us today. We're live on Facebook, so if you're watching this live, feel free to comment that you're watching it live so we can move it to the top and pin it so that other people can see that this is happening and join the conversation. If you're watching this later, type replay so that we know that you're watching the replay. For all of you who are joining here on Zoom, you've got the front row seat. You're here live with us. I'm letting more people into the waiting room as well. They're all named Tommy Sobel for some reason. This is so crazy. So what's up, everybody? Welcome. Santi, so great to see you. As you're joining, if your name is Tommy Sobel, feel free to update it to your actual name. Again, don't know why that happened. So as we are all joining, I would love to welcome you all, and so that you can kind of meet each other just for an entry. I'm going to put the chat over here. I would love to know, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you? What do you do? And I'd love to know, what is the best trip you've ever been on in your entire life? What is your number one favorite vacation or favorite trip? What is the best journey that you have experienced in your life so far? What's up, Matt? So great to see you. Andrew, man, so many beautiful faces. So many people that I love are here joining us. I love this. Feel free to update your name so that it has your actual name. If you don't know how to do that, you can actually click the 3 dots at the top of your screen and say rename, and then rename yourself. I think maybe the link I gave everybody was like my specific link, so I thought that we were all the same person. Okay, so as we wait for everyone's chat to come in, again, what we're doing, just so we can get to know each other a little bit, there are 15 of us here, plus however many people are joining on the Facebook Live. We'll never know. Could be millions of people at a certain point. Please put a little bit about yourself, maybe like, what do you do, or what's something that you love? And I'd love to know, what is your number one best trip you've ever been on in your entire life so far? What is your favorite trip ever? So we can just get excited about what everyone else has experienced in their life. And please put that in the chat. Looks like somebody else is the real Tommy Sobel. Show yourself. Maybe that's Brian. I'm also, as you all are thinking of doing that, or as you're all thinking of what's your favorite experience, favorite trip, favorite travel that you've done in your past, I'm going to share a little bit about the agenda. So clearly, this is just a casual conversation about those of us who are attending or interested in attending BRICS Guatemala Retreat. And many of you who are here joining are attending the trip. So great to see you and so excited to have you on the trip. Some of you are interested in the retreat, and some of you have already applied and you're waiting to hear back for approval. And so this is a way for you to get more details about it. This conversation is for Leon here. I'm so excited to have this conversation with you, Leon, and to hear about your experiences being literally the #1 adventure guide in all of Latin America and all of your experiences traveling, so that we can learn from you and get super excited about what you are bringing to this journey and get everyone's questions answered. So super excited to pass this baton to you at a certain point and get all your questions answered. So that's mostly the agenda for today. At the end of the event, before the end of the hour, we're also going to do a giveaway. We're going to give away some Feel CBD. I don't have it with me right now, but it's literally the CBD that is my favorite. It doesn't leave me groggy the next day. I'm letting more people in. And it really helps me when I feel sore or I feel a little wired and tired, not quite ready to go to sleep. Having that CBD before bed allows me to wake up more refreshed. I go to sleep faster. And they're just like giving us $500 worth of CBD to give away today, like just because they're awesome. So stay to the end and you're going to have a chance to win $75 worth of CBD yourself, just kind of like for fun incentive. I love seeing everybody sharing who they are. Looks like Matt went on a safari in Kenya. Amazing. Lucy, favorite trip was a Grand Cayman cruise. Sounds amazing. Brian, solo in Beijing, living in a hutong next to the Forbidden City. Incredible. Exploring history. Talks a little bit about Nomad. Brian's company, Nomad, has the most amazing accessories, leather products. Christian, favorite trip so far was New Zealand. Oh, I would love to go to New Zealand. Nem was going to Cuba. And Nem made the most incredible music videos when he was there in Cuba. So colorful. Nem, actually, he is going to be our videographer and photographer for the journey. We're so lucky to have him. Nem is literally Disney World's go-to commercial director. And so he has, luckily for us, booked out his week to be able to go on this journey with us. He's going to capture a world-class, reward-winning recap video for us and capture photos of the experiences. So we're super lucky to have Nem joining us, and I'm so glad that you're joining this trip as well. If you see any Disney World commercials right now, Nem directed it. So Molly, mindset coach. Yeah, I love that you're here. So great to be reconnected. You also New Zealand. So we got two people whose favorite trip was New Zealand. I love that. Ruben's driving, so maybe he's not able to type. But Lena, so wonderful to see you. She's at BuzzFeed. Her favorite trip is maybe pre-pandemic Budapest. Yes, pre-pandemic Budapest. That sounds amazing. I've not been to Budapest. These are all places I've never been. You're like giving me the travel bug. Andrew, so wonderful to have you here. One of his ups and downs of traveling through Thailand and Singapore, getting pulled into customs and almost arrested, elephant tracking in the jungle, then roaming the night scene in Singapore. Sounds maybe like a red light district. Oh no, is there a red light? Maybe I'm thinking of somewhere else. Maybe not. And then Paul Oakenfold. Night sounds amazing, dude. So epic. Eric, I don't see you. Oh, there you are. Lake Air Hai in China. Never even heard of it. Incredible. Temple Town. Beautiful. Oh, I love you guys are all so adventurous and well traveled. So it makes sense that you guys are all here. So I would just love to know, Garrett's best trip was also in China. Amazing. So thank you all for joining. Again, if you guys have any questions at any point, feel free to put them in the chat. We're going to have the Q&A portion where we're going to get all your questions answered and more, way more. This conversation is for us to all get to know each other a little bit, for me to have an opportunity to introduce you all to Leon, who is the man, like the world-class expert in leading adventures just like we are. And so I get to finally introduce him to all of you. And so let's get started. First question though, just so we can understand each other better, are a couple guidelines. If you're willing and able to, I would love for you to just share your screen. I see almost everybody is. If for whatever reason, you have to go to the bathroom or something, like feel free to turn it off. But if you're gonna be here and you're joining the call, uh, you know, share your screen so we can see that you're here. That's what it's all about. The whole purpose of Brick is kind of for us to be present with each other. And, even though this is on the internet, if we can be fully present and show our face, uh, that's definitely preferred. If you can't, also no big deal. So I would just love to know, just with a raise of hands for everybody who's showing, who is a confirmed attendee and coming to the Guatemala trip? Leon, Christian, that Tommy Sobel is Brian. And then Santi, Garrett, Eric we see now. Amazing. All right, so we got a bunch of people who are coming on the trip. And then curious to know how many of you raise your hand if you have already applied to the trip and you just haven't. Okay, we got Andrew here. Okay, amazing. Matt's applied. Oh, cool. I might have missed that. And then just raise your hand if you're like curious about the trip and you're really just here to be like, what is this all about? Is this for me or not? I'm not sure yet. And that's totally cool too. David, Lucy, Lena, Matt, still a little bit too. Amazing. Okay, perfect. Well, so glad that you're willing to be here and spend this time together on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon. So, I guess I'm curious to know, let's see, Santi, if you wouldn't mind sharing, why did you decide to come on this trip? Do you mind me asking you why this trip, why you're coming on this trip?
Yeah, I'm in a coffee shop and they're playing some groovy tunes. I don't know if you can hear me.
Sounds fine.
Yeah, okay. Well, I met Tommy at like a overnight sleepover in LA, and it was by far the coolest event I've ever been to in my whole life. It was unbelievable. Maybe some of you guys were there. And then I worked with Tommy. He's been an executive coach and more for a while, and everything so far has been incredible. So I can only imagine what an international adventure version of this would be. So that's why I'm going. I'm excited. I've never been to Guatemala. And I also know a couple of the people here who are just awesome. And I can't wait to spend 10 days with you guys. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Santi. It's so nice that we get to have this experience together. So glad we've had so many experiences so far, and that Santi's so amazing, by the way. Like, just to give him a quick shout out, he has an incredible app that's so aligned with Brick that brings people together in the real world for spontaneous hangs. And he's been developing it for so long, building in the dark, and literally just in the past few months, he raised like $1.5 million from the top VCs in all of Silicon Valley, like the founder of Tinder, the founder of Match.com, like the heads of OkCupid, like literally has all the heat right now in Silicon Valley as like the new app bringing people together. So it's really special. Number one, just being a part of seeing Santi's incredible growth and exploding in Santa Barbara with users, and the fact that he gets to share a lot of his incredible tools and all of his learnings as being an incredible leader with us on this trip, I think is also really special, because he also, you have so much to teach as well. I would love to just do like one more, if you guys are open to it. Who else that is coming on the retreat is willing to share why they're coming? Christian.
Well, hi everyone. So I'm part of our like inner circle group, and we've just like had, I think, like 4, 5, 6 months, something like that, of incredible growth, and we've become really close friends. And I can't like even imagine what it'll be like to be there in person together and in a larger group of all like-minded people. And I think it'll be an amazing, fun opportunity of like just like inspiring each other and growth, and that's why I'm super excited about it. And also just like to hang with you guys, and because we're like really good friends now. So
Amazing, Christian. Thank you so much. He makes a really good point, because Christian he's based in Switzerland. And so although, so many of us that are able to come to the brick events that have been in Southern California, he's been kind of too far away to go to the self-care sleepover, for example, that Santi went to. And so he's been kind of experiencing a lot of brick from afar. And as he said, he is in our inner circle, which is basically a private invite-only group for founders and business owners who are dedicated to self-mastery and want to be the best leaders they can be. And so Christian's in that group. And Christian's also so amazing. He's so low key, but he's like raised over $4 million as a filmmaker, created incredible films and documentaries. And now he also has his own social game. It's like an experiential social game that he's in full production on in an app. And he just raised like $300,000. So over the last month. And so he's got an incredible story and has an incredible vision, incredibly creative and intuitive. And obviously you can tell he's like the nicest, most genuine dude ever. And so to be able to have all of us together from all of our different backgrounds and skill sets and interests, just like all being unguarded, open-hearted leaders, like that is a huge component of this. That's why I curated this event specifically. If you've been following Brick for a while, you might have seen that we've done a lot of different types of events and retreats that are basically for everybody. This trip's not for everybody. This trip is specifically for leaders, entrepreneurs, business owners, or people who are wanting to create their own vision for their life, that are done with being an employee and really want to create their own vision or are already stepping into that role to step into it further so that we can come away from this trip with lifelong friends that we can rely on and really trust. And so that is a key component to this, in addition to like going to the top of a volcano and like watching it erupt and like having a crazy vacation and like Michelin rated food culinary experiences that Leon, is going to talk more about, perhaps if he is willing to reveal any details. So thank you so much, both of you, for sharing and for being a part of it. I would like to also now just kind of pass the torch to Leon, because he's got such an incredible story and voice, and the whole reason why this trip is happening is because of Leon. And that's because I went to a retreat back in March in Tulum with my coach, surrounded by a bunch of super high level coaches, which was my first experience kind of being surrounded by people that I wanted to be around, like-minded people, which is kind of what I'm trying to curate here. And Leon put that trip on. And Leon also owns restaurants all over Latin America that are all phone-free experiential dinners. So like imagine that you're sitting with your corporate team or with a group of strangers and you're having to make a cocktail for the person sitting next to you blindfolded. Like those are the types of experiences that he arranges at his restaurants. We got to have an experience of it in Tulum when we were together. His restaurant in Playa del Carmen, Mexico, is like literally the #2 restaurant in all of Playa del Carmen right now. It's called Traveler's Table, like highly recommended if you're near there in Mexico. And so they're all phone free, right? So Leon and I like fully vibed because he lives truly the off-grid fuck yes lifestyle more than anybody else I've ever met, from scuba diving and skydiving and rock climbing and truly just like fully being present more than pretty much anybody else I've ever met. And so we vibed super hard immediately. And I asked him if you could throw a brick retreat anywhere in the world, where would it be? And he said Guatemala. And I'll let him explain why he said Guatemala in a moment. But basically, this trip is now happening because of Leon. That he, I hired him. He's going to be leading I'm basically like the host. I'm going to be leading workshops and experiences for us. But Leon is leading this trip and all of the experiences and the activities. We're going to be, he's created this vision for the trip for us. And so, and of all the places in the world, after he has been leading adventures in 35 different countries, I believe, over the last 18 years, this is the thing that he has chosen for us. So I know that you've lived there for over a year. I'll let you explain more, but it's really special that this experience that he's curating. So without further ado, Leon, I pass it on to you to speak further.
Thanks a lot, Tommy. Hi, all. As Tommy said, my name's Leon. I'm English. I'm from London. I'm sorry if you don't understand everything that I say. I promise you the feeling is strictly neutral. I'm learning American English, being in America right now, and it is funny just having a conversation and being totally, flow, and then all of a sudden I have no idea what you're talking about, and vice versa. And then we come back in the room and we know what each other is talking about. So thank you for the introduction, Tommy. Yes, I am hugely passionate about what I put together for this particular trip. And Tommy gave me my favorite question of all questions. It wasn't really a question, it was I guess it was, this question of if you could make a retreat anywhere in the world, where would it be? And I think Tommy was a little taken aback when I said Guatemala, because in my experience of leading Americans, Guatemala has got a pretty bad rap. Somehow, someone had a bad time and everybody in America heard about it. And then nobody else in America heard about 99% of people who had a life-changing, epic experience in this country. It was the first place I visited in Latin America. I come from 5 generations of doctors and lawyers. I was brought up to believe that you are a doctor, you're a lawyer, you are an engineer, or you're homeless. So I was in a very academic family that drove me to be very academic. The second I started travel, I realized that that was my world. It was everything that I was missing. They teach you all about academic intelligence at school. They don't teach you anything about social and emotional intelligence, and travel is fantastic for that. And Guatemala opened the door to the world of possibility that was travel. And I cannot wait to translate that to you. It impacted me so hard. I spent 4 months there when I originally arrived there. I lived with a local family, I learned Spanish, and I just had some of the most incredible experiences still to date of my life in this country. It's so raw, the people are so beautifully friendly, it's so underrated that anyone from very highly pretentious to extremely, like raw, rugged traveler, it's got something for absolutely everyone. And that's one thing that is just so misunderstood about Guatemala as a destination. So putting this together was almost like a passion project for me, more than anything else. It was so beautiful to just say, well, what are my highlights? And then I had to control myself because a tidal wave of memories came back to me, and I realized, okay, we have a week and Tommy has to teach. So this is the very, very best highlights reel of what could have been a 1-month adventure without any teachings except for just life. Okay, so as Tommy said, one of the things that I'm most known for is my dining experience concepts around the world. I actually designed it for a very similar reason to what Tommy started Brick. It's that I made, at a certain point when I was 28, I made the jump from being a backpacker to wanting a little bit more comfort. I wanted to stay in hotels. I didn't want to be in a room with 16 snoring strangers around me anymore. But when I did that, I suddenly immediately missed the most beautiful concept or part of backpacking travel, and that is staying in hostels and the community of being able to go and be surrounded by people from all around the world, and to be able to go up to anyone and say, hey, without them immediately assuming that you're there to sell them a timeshare, right? We're there, and I was like, why do I have to make the decision between comfort or community? Because in boutique hotels, I'm there, it's a beautiful hotel, it's very comfy, but you pay for your exclusivity. You don't meet anyone. In fact, I don't know if you've tried to say hello to anyone in a boutique hotel, but they're more likely to scream security than they are hey back, right? They think that you're there to, it's out of the norm. You end up going to nice restaurants as well, that's private. And we do private tours, which by definition is private. So it's not that we lack the want to meet new people as we get older. It's just that we just reduce our opportunities to meet new people when you're older. And I was like, well, I'm not okay with this. I want both. I want my cake and eat it as well. I want to stay in a rock and roll bed and have my space. And I want to go outside and I want to meet people. So I was like, if it's not built, build it. So I decided that I would concentrate on building upmarket, unintimidating spaces that were designed to bring together adult travelers when they were abroad without making a concession on quality. And I decided the easiest way to do that off the bat was through dining, something that brings us all together, something that we all enjoy in some form, that we all need. And also, you know, for me, some of my favorite memories of my entire life are all around a dining table. You know, birthdays, family reunions, friends, all of that. And that magic I wanted to bring back to life. So I started actually questionably legally in my flat in Buenos Aires, Argentina, to test the concept. I wanted to make it interactive. I didn't want it to be just a normal tasting menu. I wanted to tell the story of the country or the place that they were in through its food and drink, but I wanted entertaining elements that bring everybody together and allow them to participate and break the ice in a friendly, unintimidating manner, whilst people like myself, the hosts, are there to socially facilitate as much as necessary. You know, if people need a little push socially, help them out. If they don't, take a step back, but be socially intelligent enough to know how the table dynamics work and to just, you know, cater accordingly. To my immense surprise, within 3 months, my questionably legal dining experience in my flat was #1 on TripAdvisor in the whole of Argentina. And suddenly it exploded. And I was getting people from all over the world coming. It was booked out for like 3 months in advance. I was doing 2 dinners a day, 7 days a week in my flat. And I was like, oh shit, I think I might have come onto something here. I think people might want this. Argentina's top poker player came to dinner one night with his international friends, loved it so much that he was like, why is this not a big deal? Why is this not a huge restaurant chain all over the place? And I patted my pockets and I was like, I'm not a money guy. You know, I'm the creative, I'm the other guy. And he's like, well, I won 5 tournaments this year. I've made 2 million US. I've got the money. You've got the idea. How about we go into business? So of course I had to check my diary. Yep, I happen to be free this lifetime for an investment like that. We went into business, and since then I made them in Buenos Aires. I made them in Brazil. Made them in Thailand. I made 2 in Mexico. I've done pop-ups all over the world, and it's still a little bit of a dream that people pay me to go to their countries to just go and eat everything, meet everyone, do everything, drink everything, digest it all, and turn it into an experience that people can enjoy at a dinner table. So I've created one specifically for Guatemala for this trip. So if any of you are foodies, any of you are in any way, shape or form, or you like different dining concepts, funky new ways of eating, I've got that covered. And like proudly, it will be the very first time I've ever created one in Guatemala. So this will be a brand new one just for this event. So that's the dining side. Aside from, before I went into any of that, I had already been a tour leader for 6 years, as Tommy said, and I had been constructing, designing, and leading over 200 tours all around the world. And yes, like I said, it's actually 32 countries, not 35. I've personally traveled to over 90 countries, and I have been on the road for 16 years personally. So if any of you are all about the nomadic lifestyle or looking to take a step into the nomadic lifestyle, I look forward to, and they're going to be there chatting to tell you how I've done it and how I'm still so lit up to do it. Even after all of this time, I haven't even vaguely calmed down. If anything, I'm hungrier than ever to see the rest of the planet. And after seeing Bezos shoot off to space this morning and seeing Branson win the space race 1 week beforehand, going up to space, I'm looking forward to the dining space experience that I'm already designing, feeding people like Pac-Man. It's going to be
Space
incredible.
2023, Brick Retreat.
That's it. That's it. No phones allowed. No reception out there. Better not be anyway. I'll not. Well, actually, if Musk has anything to do with it, we'll probably have a reception out there. Anyways, so I have a lot of experience of designing adventures. I've recently created a company called the Bucket List Experiences with my partner Chase, and who is an epic adventurer of his on its own and deserves all the credit for that intrepid adventure lifestyle that I've led. He's led as well. And basically what we do is we create unique travel experiences for groups, okay? They take all sorts of different shapes and sizes, and this one is all about this retreat. So what I've done, what I've curated for this particular event is understanding exactly what Tommy's trying to achieve out of it. I really resonate with the whole turn your phone off and switch off and disconnect and digitox, whatever the word is I'm looking for that I'm missing. I represented it in all my restaurants. Like you said, it's flight mode as soon as you come in, and you're kicked out if your phone goes off during the table, because it's your people are paying for connection, human connection. I'm terrible with social media anyway and anything online. I very much, as Tommy said, represent the other side of the coin. And I really look forward to bringing that concept to life and just basically taking that company culture that he's already created and creating different experiences where you can really feel the magic of what he's trying to create. So I will put it into tangible forms where you guys will feel the benefit of not having connectivity digitally and all the benefits of having it face to face. So I could talk for forever about these types of things. As you'll see, I'm very chatty and very friendly and approachable, and we'll be chatting constantly with and at all of you when I see you. But for now, that's me.
Amazing. And a few amazing things there. I think that first, just about the culinary experiences that Leon does. When he did our experience in Tulum, we're getting way more than just a meal. Like, I learned so much about the Mayan history that I had no idea I didn't know. I understood how maize was created, like the whole evolution of maize and corn and how it's part of the Mexican dish. And also I recall learning how to actually eat a taco. Like, however you guys are eating tacos, you might think you know how to eat a taco. It's probably wrong. And I learned how to do it at one of Leon's dinners. And so, like, he goes super deep. He really studies the culture, the ancient culture and the current culture, and he creates this full presentation and experience that really truly you come away like intellectually stimulated, academically stimulated, and like, you know, satisfied also with a full meal. And what Leon's also done experientially for this trip is super important to me and all of our brick experiences, because the truth is the digital world is extremely stimulating. It's overstimulating. We are getting tons of notifications. You guys are all probably getting notifications and emails and things that you feel like checking, even right now, over the 20, 30 minutes that we've been on this call, feeling the pull of the stimulations of, you know, what's down on Coinbase and, you know, what's happening with the fire in Topanga. It's like what I'm thinking about. And so, you know, there's so many, it's so stimulating that we feel attached to it. It puts these behavioral hooks into us. And what we often forget is that the real world can actually be just as stimulating and way more rewarding. So what Leon's creating here is proof, is an experience that is just as stimulating, but way more rewarding than the digital world. So that when we go back to our phones and back to our emails and Zooms and all of this stuff that just has pretty colors, the swiping on Instagram, it will actually pale in comparison. And we'll realize that it actually is just brain candy. It's all fluff, and it actually doesn't have as much substance as us being fully present in the real world, like at a beautiful lake that has brought people to tears, being unguarded, you know, reaching our visions together. And that's what life's all about, at least I think. So this experience is curated by Leon so that we can really truly enjoy the incredible beauty and colors of the natural world and get deep into our inner world as well with the absence of the digital world. So that's really important too. So without further ado, I would love to know, based on everything that we've shared so far, whether you are attending the retreat or you're not, do you have any questions for Leon or for me that will help bring you more clarity about the retreat? Literally everything is on the table. Any questions? Any thoughts?
I've got some questions. So with regards to like outdoor activities or things like that, is everything left, is it supposed to be a surprise, or can we get a sense for like what we're going to be doing?
So let me give you a couple of examples. Of course, surprise, there will be plenty, and that's the whole idea of being excited by what the unknown. For me, excitement in general it just helps you deal with the day-to-day bullshit that we go through, and like coping mechanisms are so much easier when you are excited by something. So will I give it all the tricks? No, but let me satisfy a little bit of this thirst for information. So first of all, for those of you which haven't been to Guatemala, Antigua, which is one of the destinations we're going to go, is one of the most extraordinary places I've ever been. It's the most perfectly preserved colonial city on the planet. Imagine cobble street towns, beautiful colors, in it, like very low roofs, these colonial mansions, which you can only, they look like little, just tiny nothings from the outside. You walk in and these just extravagant mega villa insides, you know, quadrants with fountains, and the people are so friendly. And geographically, it's incredible because it's sat between two active volcanoes, okay, which erupt constantly. And one of the things that really impacted me when I was there the first time is that literally like 2 or 3 times a day, it'll erupt really like a boom, like a bomb just went off, okay? And none, and I do mean none of the locals even look up. But you look up, like, oh my God, and you see this huge mushroom cloud coming out on a perfect blue sky day, coming out the top of a volcano. Like I lived there for a while, and I never, ever, ever got used to how that made me feel. The initial thing of, oh my God, is this Pompeii, is this it? And then of course you get used to the fact it's not Pompeii and it's nothing like, or even at risk of being like that. So talking about the volcano, because the volcano is particularly impactful, you know, we are going to go on a trek and go on that active volcano. And we're going to have the ability to get up as close as comfortable to real lava. There's going to be cracks where you can see lava. You're going to be able to, so with Germans before, I've actually got sausages and they've cooked them in these little cracks, you know, for a gimmick. I don't know if you know, but if you throw a bottle of water onto lava, it explodes. And there's all sorts of very cool things that you can do with lava. Of course, it's all safe because it's all been tried and tested, what we would actually be doing. But the actual excitement of going up and seeing real live lava and not having the red tape that we have in the Western world, like everything goes in Latin America. And that's one of the things that I love about it. It's like everything's at your own risk, okay? Whereas in the Western world, the government's like, they wouldn't let you within 9 miles of it, so you would never have any fun with it. So we're going to get up close and personal, and then we're going to go up a neighboring volcano, and we're going to set up camp. Well, camp will already be set up there. And whilst we are sipping down on a world-class rums, of which they have won 5 years in a row, the best sipping rum in the world, as the night dims down, suddenly the volcano in front of you is going to start glowing bright red and just belching like lava from the top. And it is hypnotizing. You probably won't sleep that night. The first time I did it, I stayed up all night watching it like in a trance. So lava and volcanoes. Okay.
Hashtag lava.
Hashtag lava. Like I mentioned, the city itself is absolutely extraordinary. It's so well maintained. If any of you are photographers, it's just mind-blowing. Walking around, it's completely safe. It's only 20 blocks by 20 blocks. Just walking around is an experience, and it completely changes at night when it's just lit up by very cute lanterns, and it gives you an extremely different effect. So as a walking city, it's incredible. Okay, as a picture city, it's incredible. The dining experience that I'm going to do for you guys is I've got an extremely well-known chef from Antigua who was born and raised in Antigua, works for all the top restaurants in Antigua and in Guatemala City. we are co-designing something that's going to bring the history of the gastronomy of the area to life in a very fun and interactive way. That's Antigua. There's many surprises in there as well that I don't want to go into, but like as a top level, I think it gives you a pretty good picture of where we're going. Then we're going to my favorite lake on the planet, no questions asked, nothing even close. And I very much, for those of you who are coming, I know that it's always tempting to just research everything and researching where we're going, what we're doing, how we're doing it. From someone who spent a lifetime exploring and getting people excited about it, if you haven't yet, or you decide to sign up because of this or whatever, I recommend doing no research. You know what? Be amazed. Have that childhood excitement about opening a present at Christmas. Okay, why? Because we're so digitized right now that most of the people who come traveling these days have already seen videos of everything they're going to do in such detail that when they go there and do it, they're like, yeah, that's like doing it. And they lose that childhood excitement of, I mean, when I was 18 and I started traveling, I'd only seen one photo on a magazine about a place, and it blew my mind every single hour of every day when I went to these cool places. So when I say this lake is absolutely next level, I mean, for a start, it's surrounded by 3 volcanoes, okay? So that's pretty special. And the sunrise is the coolest sunrise, hands down, that I've seen on the planet. And I have been on all sorts of crazy mountains everywhere above the cloud line. But here, we're going to be going for one particularly special morning. We are going to be going to a point that I know to be the very best top point to be able to see the sunrise as it comes up over the crest of 3 volcanoes and then blasts down onto this next level lake with all these beautiful, tiny, cutely lit up communities around the outside, all just in one vista. Okay, it's exceptional. For me, it takes my breath away. It's made many people I take their cry. Just because of the serenity and the impactness of that particular area. So right there, that's when a lot of magic is going to happen on this. I really would rather keep a lot of what I've designed there secret, because it's designed 100% to back up everything that brick represents, but on a grandiose scale. So the 2 places we're going are these 2 places. They're very, very close to my heart. And they're my #1 destinations in the whole of Latin America. And I've spent the last decade there. So I hope that holds a little bit of clout.
Definitely. A little bit, maybe. I don't know. Okay, amazing. Great kind of overview of the 2 main locations that we're going to be at. In short, if you missed that, we start with surrounded by 2 volcanoes, and then we upgrade to being surrounded by 3 volcanoes. Yeah, I mean, I'd be curious to know, do you have any questions? Are there any other questions that are coming up about the trip?
I had one random question. Show of hands, who here speaks Spanish? Awesome, cool.
Amazing, way more people than I thought. That's great. So we will definitely be super solid there.
And I'd like to add, actually, sorry, on that note, Guatemala has the clearest Spanish, in my opinion, of all the Latino countries. So even if you're beginner intermediate, you're going to understand because they speak slowly and they speak clearly. Also, if any of you spending extra time there, that's where I learned Spanish. That's where I have my Spanish teacher still lives. If any of you are interested afterwards in actually learning a little bit of Spanish, that's the place to do it. It's also the cheapest place on earth to learn Spanish, FYI.
Amazing. So basically, to move forward, if you have any other questions, obviously we're available to you to answer them. I will, just share now for those of you who are not already attending, we only have 9 spots left. We have a few people who have already applied and are through the review process now, who are probably going to confirm. And so if you are seriously considering coming on this trip, I highly suggest that you apply now, because we don't know how much longer those spots will go. They're all first come, first serve. We also have a bonus going on right now, so that if you apply and you happen to be accepted before the end of the month, then you get $1,000 off. Also, for those of you who are attending, or if you're thinking of attending and you want to bring a friend, for anybody that you invite and include on the trip, you get $400 just personally from me for doing the work for me for the referral fee. So with that, I think that leaves us with, unless Leon, do you have any other kind of final thoughts to share before we do the giveaway?
I would say that, I mean, we've all been, we've been cooped up for the last 12 months, 18 months. I don't even know how long this has been going on for. I know there's a lot of pent up frustration and kind of cabin fever. There is literally nothing better than adventure to clean that out of the closet. Also, understand that I understand very much about COVID and travel-related restrictions, and it's constantly evolving as the COVID landscape evolves. But I want to reassure anyone who's coming that everything that we do on the trip is going to be 100% all of it. It's going to be about your safety first, and then the adventures. It's not that we'll do everything and anything the way that it's going to come up. Everything is very, very, very specially designed for the world that we're living in at the moment, so that you can just enjoy yourself in a way that we haven't been allowed to enjoy ourselves for such a long time. So it would be really nice to just understand that when you're on this trip, you can leave all of those worries at the door and act, and hopefully we can bring back that pre-pandemic version of yourself on this trip, and that's going to be a big focus of mine.
Thank you so much, Leon, because that's of particular importance to me personally on this trip, because I had a crazy year. I'm sure everybody did, having to pivot and move in different directions. My event business was basically put on ice, for who knows how long, not know how I was making money. And so, for many of us, I can imagine, like, you didn't do the vacation, you didn't take the time off that you had planned to take last year. Maybe it's been 2 years, maybe it's been even more since you've actually fully gone off and taken time for yourself. And that risks burnout and reduces productivity and reduces your enjoyment of the whole process of what life's all about. And so what this trip is designed to do is to be that trip where you can guilt-free, shamelessly have the vacation that you deserve, surrounded by other people just like yourself. And Leon knows how to throw responsible, safe trips during a pandemic more than anybody else. I believe you threw like 7 retreats last year without any issues. I attended one personally, and on this retreat specifically, everybody that arrives to Guatemala, there's a countrywide mandate. You have to show either proof of negative COVID, PCR, or antigen test within 3 days of your flight, or your vaccination card, I believe, and maybe that's changed. And we're actually requiring that as well. So everybody on this trip is going to show proof of negative upon entry so that we can be a safe pod and make sure that we can have safety first so that we can be like that open-hearted, free-flowing, adventurous group that we all want to be. And so we've got a couple questions. Amazing. So what is the current COVID situation? Urgency. Okay, so basically, if COVID gets, for whatever reason, if COVID prevents us from having this journey, you're just going to be refunded, no questions asked, or we're going to postpone the trip to a different time, and you're going to be able to choose what works best for you. So you really have nothing to worry about when it comes to COVID. It doesn't really look like that's going to be an issue. Obviously, we don't really know what's going to happen about 2 months from now. But the other benefit is that the way that we have this set up specifically is we are going to be secluded in our own locations the entire time. So we have our own villa in Antigua. We have our own villa on the lake. It's beautiful. Not going to tell you so you look up photos, but beautiful on Lake Atitlan. So we're going to be staying by ourselves with our own chefs, and there's going to be we're going to be a pod, and so whatever's going on in the external world is going to be not an issue for us. And then yeah, Christian also has a question about vegetarian options. Leon, would you like to just respond in addition to what I just said for either of those?
Of course. Well, you pretty much covered it on COVID. We are going to be our own pods, and we're going to have our exclusive areas. And depending on what happens with COVID, is depending on how much interaction we will have with the outside world. The good thing is the way that everything has been designed, we are going to have an exceptional experience between us. Just we are the only people that we need to be in Guatemala to have this experience, which is great. It's always great to be able to have interactions with the locals, and that's what we want to have as part of this experience as well. But that would be largely contingent on what's happening there at that point. What I understand is right now, they're a little behind on the vaccines. However, they are now vaccinated. They're catching up now, and they are vaccinating their over 40s at the moment. So I'm pretty confident that by the time we get there, that they're going to have all the adults vaccinated, and that's not going to be a problem. We're going to keep you updated on that anyway. So, but at the moment, but we're actually either way, they're safe. It's just the one thing which would be affected if things got worse. We would just completely seclude you from outside people if that was ended up being a problem. But like I said, it really looks like they're going to catch up in time. They have got vaccines from multiple different countries coming in now. So their vaccine drive is in full force. And I've got my ears to the floor about that, and we'll keep you guys informed. Food-wise, of course, we're not going to leave the vegetarians out. There's vegetarians, celiac, gluten-free, pescatarian, whatever Aryans there are out there. There seems to be a new one invented every year. We're going to be sending out probably a month out a questionnaire for you guys to fill in, to give you guys to be able to give me all the information I need to know about you, to make sure that I can personalize this, to make sure that this 100% suits everything about your personality. So yeah, all, especially with food, guys, do not worry, I've got your back.
Excellent. All right, so what I'm going to do for those of you who don't have easy access to it, I'm just going to put the application there in the chat. Obviously, I've already expressed the kind of urgency there. If you're still interested after having this conversation, I think feel free to click the link, because that will disappear when this chat ends. Now let's get to, again, if you have any other questions, please add them. But for now, what we're going to do is move on to the giveaway portion of the event. So we've got about 7 minutes left. We have 5 CBD vials. They're worth like $75 each to give away. And I thought we would see what your, so the truth is, we're all psychic. And maybe you didn't know that you were psychic. Christian, I think, knows he's psychic. But for those of you that don't know you're psychic, you actually are. And this giveaway is going to test to see who is the fastest acting psychic of the group. So what I'm going to do is I have a certain number of objects over here. You don't know what they are. I know what they are. And I'm going to hold one of them in my hand. And I want you to tell me what the color of the object is. So whoever says it, and this is, you're going to want to unmute for this, because if you're muted, I won't hear you. But whoever says the correct color first is going to win. Okay? Does this sound fun? This is going to be fun. Okay. So, all right. So on the count of 3, tell me, and if you're wrong, you can say more colors, but I need to hear, I'm going to wait till I hear the right one. What is the color? Use your psychic senses, open your heart, feel it. What am I holding? I'm holding it next to my heart. What is the color of the object I'm holding?
Green.
Red.
Black. Purple. Red.
Orange.
Blue.
You guys got this.
Lavender.
Green.
White.
Jade.
White.
Yellow.
Who said white? Molly, you just won. You just won a pair. No, you didn't. You won the first feels, Molly. Congrats. Everybody give Molly some snaps for being psychic.
That's great. Come on, Matt.
This is
Good
as white as my objects get. Okay, so you ready for the next one? All right, Molly, you're out. You can keep guessing if you want, but you've already proven yourself. All right, I'm holding another object with a different color. What is it?
Red.
It's red.
Yes.
Purple.
Okay, we just had 3 people say red first. Raise your hand if you said red. Nem, Matt.
I'll let Matt take it,
Nah, I think Ruben needs it.
or whoever.
Who else said it?
Or Nam.
Ruben, did you say red?
No, I said purple.
Oh,
Okay.
never mind.
I thought I heard 3 reds. Going once, going twice. Did anybody else say red? Okay, so Nem and Matt, you just won because I was holding this. You just won 2 of them, so we got 2 left. Okay. What is the color of the object I'm holding now?
Green,
Green.
Yellow.
blue.
Purple.
Yellow. Who said yellow? Garrett. Amazing. Amazing. Let's give it up for Garrett. And we didn't give it up for Matt either. Congratulations, Matt. And them, actually. I don't know why I just ignored you, them. All right, so we got Garrett, you got this. We got one more. What is the color of the object I'm holding to my heart now?
Black.
Orange.
Purple.
Silver.
Green.
Yellow.
Blue.
Gold.
Sending it out
Silver.
from my
Right.
heart.
Bronze.
Pink.
Rainbow.
Green. Pink.
Pink. Who said pink? Lena, amazing. All right, give it up for Lena. I thought you were going to win that one. That was cool. All right, so congratulations to Molly, Nem, Matt, Garrett, and Lena for winning the free CBD. For those of you who didn't win, we'll be doing more stuff like this, so maybe join us next time. And if you really want to try Feel CBD, maybe I could just figure something out for you. But so that's it. That's our live conversation. Leon, thank you so much for joining us. I know you're incredibly busy. Leon is working right now in New York on a pop-up up there, and he's like super in demand. And so it's great you were get to spend this hour with us. Also for each of you, you're all your time is incredibly important. And for you to have spent this today to get to know fellow attendees or decide whether this is the trip for you, I'm so happy that you joined us. I'm available to you for any questions, and hope to see you guys soon in Guatemala. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Tommy. Very exciting.
Hi, guys. Thank you.
See you soon.